Hello and welcome. It's another Manic Monday here, April 11th. Rob Morales, RCO Network, coming at you live here on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Yeah, okay to me. I lied about Instagram.
No, totally.
It is a Monday. But joining me as always, the fabulous, the wonderful, the newly tanned, Ashley Miller. Great American title, everybody. She's here once again every week. Monday Market 15, the 15-minute show. It takes about 30, 40, I don't know how many minutes. Never seem to start on time.
Ever.
That's who we are.
The intention's always there.
Hold on, let me get your mic. We didn't even get your mic.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't even get this.
We are not prepared whatsoever.
No, we've been sitting down talking because there's so
Nobody
much
can hear you.
information right now, you guys. Like, I got here probably about 1:20ish, and we didn't start till 2:50 because we went down that rabbit hole of what is happening in our industry. And it all started this morning when Robert texted me probably about 6:30ish-ness.
I texted you on the toilet. I'm sitting there looking at articles. I'm like, that'll be good.
And I'm just sitting there going, okay, like I'm just getting up. My eyes are super tired because I just got back from Temecula on my bachelorette party after 3 days of drinking wine and whiskey.
Congratulations
and
on the
thank you.
engagement. We're about a week away.
We are 11 and a half or 10 and a half days away from the wedding. But so this new company called Funko, which is really funny that you were texting me when you were in the toilet and I was still in bed with one eye open because we were funky. Talking about what the heck is happening in Arizona right now, you guys.
What the Funko is happening?
What the Funko is happening. And so this put us down this rabbit hole of like, holy cow, like Funko. I actually didn't truly know what Funko Pop meant. It's a toy company.
Well, yeah, I had to tell her. So
he did because my kids are old now.
I had to tell her what to. So like this is where I get all my Baby Yoda stuff from.
Oh, look, like this one.
Oh, that's a different Baby Yoda. No, Funko is a little bit different. They do the big bobblehead things.
So they would do like the bobbleheads for like the, I don't know, the
Mandalorian. I put Mandalorian here on purpose. Not that anybody.
Well, because you love your Yoda and your Star Wars.
Something like that.
But yeah, a little bit of a nerd.
A little bit. So anyway, they're coming to the Phoenix market. They're stationing out here. I forgot where the article said. Buckeye.
They're going to be out. They're going to be out in Buckeye. So there's a lot of things happening in spaces that we're unfamiliar with. And when I say we, meaning there's a lot of people that are listening that are not from Arizona, but even Arizonians that are probably not natives. Like I'm a native. Like Buckeye was like, halfway to California. It's really not.
It's
really not, but it feels that way. So when we hear that now these major manufacturers are coming to like Buckeye, what were the other places? Eloy.
We found a few. We found a few places. So Nikola and Eloy was one of them.
So they're coming. Yeah. So
you found a couple other ones.
Nikola Motor is going to be a hydrogen electronic semi-truck company that is going to be, they're just starting their manufacturing and they'll be finished approximately 2024 employing, there's a $1 billion company employing about 2,500 people in Eloy. Most of Arizonians don't even know where Eloy is.
How do you not know where Eloy is? Well,
I know, but I'm saying a lot of people don't. So when we are going through this process,
oh boy,
you as a real estate agent, and everyone's like, there's no homes. There are homes. They're just not where you want them to be.
Well, that's true. Like if we go back to the chart, I'm gonna pull up the current because every week we look at this number, and we've the last few weeks we've been looking at about 3,000, 32, 34, and then pleasantly surprised today at 4,000 active listings. So the effects of higher interest rates is causing more listings, and very small, I would say. I mean, I'm glad it's not going down. I'm glad we're not losing houses, but definitely we're gaining listings, or they're staying on market a little bit longer, which also means more listings.
I'm gonna say something that sounds really messed up that just came to my head, but
in a country accent.
Well, my friend, you know those people that they're getting a little bit older.
Oh boy.
And they might be dying off or moving into one of those things. What do you call them? Retirement homes?
Oh boy. Or just moving into their kids' houses.
Oh hell no. Nobody's moving in my house.
I mean, if your mom is elderly and you have a good relationship with them, I mean, that's the other.
my house is not big enough.
You know, Violet's mom makes dinner every night.
Oh, she can move into my house.
I wouldn't mind her. I mean,
you know,
it's Polish food,
I'll
but-
take Violet's mom. I'm just kidding. But I'm curious. I was actually really curious when we looked at these stats this morning. I'm like, where the hell did these houses come from? And I'm not sure if it's a release from, we were trying to research this, a release from maybe Zillow, because they're offloading some of their houses from a minor mistake that they had.
I pulled that up, remember?
Yeah, and there wasn't a ton.
So, like, I'll pull up. I'll just show you what I'm looking at.
Is it new builders coming in that are well, I don't know. Can new builders pre-sell in MLS ish? No, they can't.
They can. I mean, they can list it. They primarily list a single address, and then that single address should come up on Google, and then the agent can take them down to they'll show kind of like the floor plan instead of like pictures of the house.
Yeah.
They'll show the floor plan and then use the
Well,
address.
that's why I'm concerned when we look at these numbers, because that number was like aggressively larger.
Yeah.
So I was all morning, I was trying to think about, I'm like,
What's
how did it increase? Like, what happened? And
Well,
the
I mean,
builder thing might make sense.
when you think of a couple, you know, what Phoenix is, 3 million people, something like that. Two.
How many?
3 million.
Just Phoenix. Oh, just Phoenix. Oh gosh. I'll
Pull up the stat. No, so when you look at, let's just say 3 million, and the inventory only increases 800 houses. That's like less than 1/10%.
Phoenix. That says 2020. 2020. That's wrong.
But to counteract the Zillow argument, there's only like 65 Zillow listings that came up, and only about 23 that actually were either pending. So I mean, Zillow has done a pretty good job about releasing all their houses. You can kind of see through my face. Let me get my face over. You can kind of see here. There's a couple pending. One pending.
Yeah,
I think I only saw one active on there. So
Yeah.
Zillow is pretty much out of our market. I mean, there's just no homes. Let me go back.
Well, I think they're offloading to a lot of hedge funds. Honestly, a lot of bigger hedge funds.
Well, they're trying to get rid of.
They have to offload them. But I've noticed
there's that active, and so one active, one temporary on market.
I don't know if you've noticed, Open Door's been a little bit more aggressive.
We didn't pull up Open Door.
We didn't, but I was just, as we were saying that, I'm like, I've noticed they've been like contacting like me constantly about my house. I'm like, well, I'm not selling my house, but it's very intriguing to watch the market and what's happening. So I think the biggest thing, and I'm glad you brought up the
Funko.
The Funko. So with that being said, there are so many things that are happening in Arizona.
Well, yeah, we did want to bring up the companies that are here.
Yes,
you know,
that's a big deal for me.
So I'm gonna bring up the companies that are currently here first, and then we can talk about some of the other ones. But the top companies in Arizona. What are you doing?
No, I'm just getting close to the microphone.
Oh.
So I can maybe I want to sing this.
Oh shit! So the top companies in Arizona, major employers and businesses. The biggest one is the state of Arizona. They employ close to 50,000 employees.
Can I piggyback off that real quick? Because
Sure.
Creighton University is moving, or is slowly moving their healthcare science company. They're building a $100 million campus in downtown type of Phoenix, and they're going to house 800 health students. So I think they'll kind of piggyback
Between Walmart and the state of Arizona.
Not Walmart. But I think that where downtown is
Wally
slowly
World.
increasing with education, because I am going to give a stat that Maricopa County, or Maricopa Community College, is the largest community college in the U.S., and we actually educate over 200,000 students per year. So it's really cool to actually see that.
Well, we have a lot of trade schools here too.
It's amazing. No,
You know,
it's amazing.
Like chiropractic trade schools, nursing trade schools, and there's
Our
various
healthcare
types.
is getting way bigger.
Oh yeah,
out here.
I think Banner.
No, yeah, that's the next. That's why I brought that up. I was trying to work on the
So
transition.
Walmart's number 2. Banner
of course it
is number 3.
That's right.
City of Phoenix number 4. Wells Fargo is number 5. Bank
I
of
used to
America.
work for them.
Bank of America is number 6. Maricopa County is number 7. So a lot of government jobs. We're high in government jobs.
Yeah.
And then we have the state of Arizona, or Arizona State, I should say.
What's Apollo?
It's also education. Apollo EDU.
Oh. Well.
They look at
Now I
diplomas
feel
in healthcare,
stupid.
dental, and veterinary.
I feel
curriculum.
dumb.
So those are those trade schools that I was talking about.
Oh.
J.P. Morgan Chase, Intel is huge down in Chandler.
Yep.
U.S. Airways is airlines, obviously, and a lot of education, more, and the Postal Service is pretty big in Arizona, which is kind of.
I love my postman. I think I've mentioned that a million times on this show.
You've met your postman?
Oh, I love my postman. He walks. He walks up to our door.
You talk to everybody?
I do.
Are you even home when I'm not even home when my...
Yeah, he knocks on our door. Dignity Health is huge. They're growing. Dignity Health is amazing. I will tell you, I'm going to go on a slight tangent, as I always do. Dignity Health has been so amazing in my life with all my healthcare issues.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go granular on that. But they have incredible doctors, an incredible network, an incredible app, like a phone app that you can go on there. Like, I wouldn't... They're absolutely amazing. I held back.
And that's enough said.
Yeah, they're amazing.
But anyway, we're looking at other. American Express is a big one. I knew about their it's like a call center. Copper and gold. I don't know if that's mining. I mean, mining historically has been huge in Arizona.
What's Bitcoin? All this.
I think that's regular gold, not crypto.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Nike's about. Oh, jinx.
I might hang around you too much. That's my problem. I know
you really do.
I've been saying okie dokie artichoke forever.
Oh, okie dokie artichoke.
Oh my God! And then Scottsdale Healthcare is another one. Arizona Public Service. So you see a lot of Kroger's another one. So you see basically education, government, and trade schools, specifically medical trade schools.
Mayo Clinic is amazing. Fry's is amazing.
But there are new up and comers like Funko. The reason we brought up the idea of companies that are here and are coming to Arizona is because it all relates back to housing. If these companies are coming in, hiring employees, they're definitely bringing some of their upper management with them. You know, maybe not all the foot line, front level, line level stuff, but definitely, some of their upper management. And those upper management and those people in the higher kind of ranks of a company do come here and they look for housing, which is occupying some more of our housing issues.
It does, for sure. And to break it down, and I actually think if I could be transparent about the number from, as we're chatting, we're talking, so the number has significantly increased with houses on the market. Yeah. Do you think, and we've talked about baby boomers before.
So we're asking a public question right now?
Public question. Do you think that now we're hitting almost summer, right? That a lot of these people, and so I'm planning a wedding. I'm getting married in 11 days.
Congratulations.
And it's all vintage antique stuff. And I've spent a lot of freaking time in Sun City, believe me, like estate sales and all this. And a lot of these people, they're...
Some old stuff.
Oh, no, it's old. Like, it's going to be very vintage. When I say vintage, like, I'm talking straight up vintage, like 1920s, 1930s, 1940s, like, pieces. They're going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
But a lot of the people there are, that I bought items from, they're probably in their, like, 70s, but their parents have passed away. That's why they're doing the estate sale. And they're offloading these properties.
Yeah.
So there's been an influx in certain areas of I don't even know what that generation's called because they're not baby boomers. They're like quite after that.
Would be Gen X after that.
No, I mean they're before that. So they would be like the Depression era, like the 1920s, 1930s born, right? So they're offloading. So now those are the people, like my grandmother was born in 1930. She worked for Digital. Digital was a huge company off of like Cave Creek and
Motorola too, right?
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Well, Motorola is huge. Ryder's grandpa worked for Motorola for a very long time, and then they left and they moved to England, and then they came back here, and then they repositioned themselves down off of the 101. Yeah. So all these companies are trying to figure out where they're going. Well, you know what's happening is they're paying attention to where new people are going, and guess where they're coming to? Arizona, our baby. So our
I guess it was obvious since we talked about the Phoenix housing.
So what's happening is like all the people that went through the Great Depression that moved to Arizona, they're unfortunately
Do you think the heat really works on the joints? Because right now, like I've been doing flooring all weekend, my knees still hurt like crazy.
You just got to get biofreezing to spray it on your shit. You're fine.
My junk.
Go get a stretch ninja and get some chiropractic. I have people to refer you to. But anyway, so then now we have the next generation, the baby boomers, and they're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And they're now taking the money from selling the homes from like that era, the Depression era where they came out here in like the 70s, sold their houses, they bought them for $30,000. They left them, they're gone. Now these people are coming in who are still in their 70s now, and they just want to get rid of shit. Huh. And there's equity. They're trying to, so there's a lot of offloading now that summer is hitting.
Yeah.
Because what what are they going to do? Like, they're not going to keep their folks' house. Like, yeah, the nostalgia, but at the end of the day, you know how much equity? It's, 5% year after, like, year for the past couple years? Well, more than 5%.
No, it's been enormous. So since you brought that up, I mean, I guess when we talk about companies and either existing or coming in, again, how it affects housing, and I think what buyers are looking for is that opportunity to come in and say, you know what, there is an opportunity here. I'm going to make a purchase now.
Yeah.
You know, because right now we have a very high purchase price environment. Now, in the last 2 months, we have a very high interest rate environment. So it's like the competition, the waiting last year is like, oh shit, I waited for this, a worse market. You know, not only in price wise, but financially too. Like, for instance,
there's opportunity cost at all aspects right now.
Yeah.
With that generation, not that I'm going generational, but I am for a hot minute because with all these companies moving in,
here, I'll just post that up.
that are coming.
What other companies were coming in? More companies moving to Arizona.
So we have
because of taxes, business friendly environment.
Right. So that's actually what I just pointed my hand at. Is we have our regulatory tax, like our taxes are so different here than they are in other spaces. So when people come out here and they're able to open up, I mean, you can buy land literally on the outskirt of Surprise or past
Morristown.
Well, I know I love Morristown, but I'm actually going to go a little bit more south off the I-10 past Tonopah. Out there, so what is it called?
Blythe. Well, Blythe is on the border.
Courtside, like right after the border. It would behoove somebody to go in there and buy a piece of land that somebody's grandpa bought a long time ago, and somebody has no idea what that even means. Like, my grandpa owns a piece of land in Blythe, Arizona. It's right outside the border. Buy that bitch. Buy it. Buy it.
Oh boy.
Because you know what?
We were using
There's going to
earlier.
be somebody from California or another state that's going to pick that up from you for freaking 80 times what it's worth. Because you have no idea, because your grandpa from the 1920s bought a little piece of parcel worth maybe his, like, cow or his freaking donkey or his goat and maybe a few nights with his wife. I don't know. But bought it for something
we're off on a little bit of a tangent there.
You're going to be able to sell it for so much money. The whole point was
extreme.
paying attention, which goes back to one of our original podcasts when I said, if you're starting to notice some Starbucks.
Well, we'll get into that in a second. So if you want to be wealthy, what the wealthy are doing, and I heard about this before. I didn't realize how much, but the wealthy are buying land. You know, and I just pulled this up right now. Talk of Gates buying land in smart cities going back to 2017. So Bill Gates is essentially buying just land for farmland.
Just anything.
Well, I mean, it's just parking your money, and real estate tends to be that investment asset that really survives inflation.
Yep. Always.
You know, it does better than inflation. It has a better bounce back. If you think of the housing crash, you know, in 2008, 2009.
2008, yeah.
If you refer back to that, the housing market had a significant bounce back quicker than any other real asset. Even gold. Gold's been stagnant for a long time.
Well, gold has always been like stagnant, but land, like, you can buy dirt. Nobody can take your dirt away.
Well, I would say land and gold are kind of the same. They're very stable. They don't have spikes like crypto.
But nobody can steal your dirt. What are they gonna do? Dig a hole? Put it in a bag and take it with them? Like,
bury their wife.
But
people bury my wife
steal,
on my land.
your gold. People can steal your gold. Nobody can steal. I mean, if we're going way back when, like the Indians and the cowboys, like, sure, like back in the day, like, people stole land from each other. Like, I'm part Indian and part cowboy, so imagine the conflict I still have today. I'm almost 40 years old.
You're still conflicted.
But I'm very confused. I'm like, I don't know what to do. It's just very confusing.
Tangent.
But you will never fail by buying land or dirt. You will never fail.
Point
Never.
taken, miss.
So your research needs to be, where's the next freaking Walmart going to go?
So talking about gentrification, we've talked about that before.
Oh, that's right.
One of the articles that we pulled up talks about that. And this was an older one, by the way. So this talks about if you have a house, or if you're developing a house next to a coffee shop, or if you buy a house next to a coffee shop, the return on that compared to a house not next to a coffee shop, or in this case Starbucks, is a lot less return. So like in the stats here, it's funny. Properties closer to the coffee shop increased in value by 96%.
Can I comment on this?
Versus ones that weren't next to a coffee shop. That
as I always do. So
yes,
Starbucks are very popular, right? But I feel like that's like Starbucks are very superficial. Now we're experiencing
the Starbucks
Midtown and all these awesome coffee shops, like Press Coffee. Press Coffee is freaking amazing. So there's all these really cool coffee shops that are popping up. You start seeing these really cool coffee shops popping up in your neighborhood. Your neighborhood's going to increase because people like nostalgia. They like uniqueness. But going back to what Robert was saying, if you see or have any inclination, actually, you know what? Get on your computer and start researching. Where is the new Starbucks going to come? Where is the new Walmart? Because if you have a Starbucks and a Walmart, you freaking made it.
Only if you're in Morristown. But no, so I think people, again, are out there looking for opportunities. And the big question is, are prices going to go down?
No.
I personally, I don't see any prices going down, and the stats reflect on that too. So CoreLogic about 2 weeks ago released their press release, April 4th or something, April 5th. And if you go down there, it does talk about current versus projection. So the current forecast is year over year. We have 20% year over year gains as a nation, not in Phoenix, and I'll show you Phoenix in a little bit, but as a nation, we are looking at about a 20% increase year over year from last year. The projection forward next year over year next year, there's a 5% increase, which is more of a normal market, because a normal balancing in the markets is 3 to 6% appreciation each year.
Can I give some advice?
You want to give me advice?
No.
Or them advice?
Totally solicited, totally opinionated. If you are thinking of selling your house and you have a lot of equity, because your equity's literally increased, in the past month, how much? It's been another 3.4%, I believe I read. Sell your freaking house. What? Go buy a piece of land. Grab an RV.
Move to Morristown.
Janky RV. Move to Morristown. Move where the heck you want, as long as it's close to Walmart and Starbucks. Because eventually, in the next 5 years, that your land is going to be worth so much freaking money. Like, if you have $120,000, $150,000, maybe $200,000 in equity, and you're okay with living the simple life, go buy a freaking piece of land. Go buy an RV.
We're not financial advisors by any way.
No, I'm not. But I'm just saying, the simple life. We got to go back to the simple life, because once you go simple and you realize and you pay attention, I went from a half-acre property, horse property, almost $1 million house, to my little, I shouldn't say, it's not this little, it's cute as button. But watching the increase over that, I love my humble abode. It's very quaint and kind, sweet, and I love it, except the front yard, but that's okay. We're working on it. But it's if you don't have an emotional attachment to your property, but you have a lot of equity, Funko, sell it.
Oh.
Sell it, because Funko's coming in, and they're coming in to Buckeye. Go buy a piece of land in Buckeye and allow Funko to come in and buy your property from you, because they need a place for their employees.
Well, I mean, if we're hearing
about it.
Not literally,
but you know what I mean.
I'm
joking.
If we're hearing about it, then they probably already made those purchases. So it's just something to keep in mind. There's a lot more businesses coming in, and opportunities for land. Absolutely. I would say about 10 years ago, there was a discussion I had with some of my employees when I worked for the state, and Eloy was primed for that rock and roll theme park. You remember that? We it was Janet Napolitano. That's how old is it? Gave initial approval for the building of this rock and roll theme park, and the discussion was hey, we should just go buy land and put asphalt on it, and that's your parking right there. Boom. We were all trying to figure out where this was going to happen, but it fell through. But the idea is still the same. You buy land and you hold on to it, and hoping that there is opportunity. I would say that stretch between Phoenix and Tucson is just primed for opportunity.
There is opportunity everywhere we look, and we would be ignorant. And I know I go on funny tangents, and I'm very extravagant. But at the end of the day, one of the main points I try to drive home is pay attention. And I'm not a news watcher. I'm not like a social media scroller. But what I do know is I pay attention to what are the popular places that are coming to Arizona? What companies are moving in here? Is there going to be a Starbucks? Is there going to be a Walmart? Because if there is, you know your land's going to increase. Your challenge, and I challenge all of you, is to buy the land before that happens. So if you find a small town that doesn't have a Walmart but it has an elementary school, that means the trajectory of that area is eventually going to have a middle school. It's eventually going to have a high school, and it's eventually going to have a Walmart. It's eventually going to have a Starbucks. So if you buy that, if you see a piece of land that's $5,000, and you're like, I don't know if I could do this. I don't know if I could do this. Like, it seems aggressive to me. And I'm not a financial advisor. Go borrow money from a friend. Go take out a personal loan for $5,000, because I can guarantee Funko tell you that that property is going in your time, if you're in a younger age. If they have an elementary school, you're young enough to go into that. It's worth it.
Not financial advice, but if you just, something to consider.
Paying attention. It's being cognizant of your surroundings.
Got to rope her in with those advice tips.
No, we have to. Like, I am not a financial advisor. I really, the only thing I know is what I read, but I like to read. Yeah,
and like I said, the best opportunity is that stretch between Phoenix and Tucson, because it does, follow the I-10. Arizona
and the
City.
Stretch on the I-10, between Arizona going out, west. So you have so you go out, you have Quartzsite, you have Blythe. Do not buy in Indio, because that place is full of crime.
That stretch between California, the I-10. I think anything along the I-10 is a safe bet if you're in the market for buying land.
Before you hit Arizona. Yeah.
So again, a lot of opportunities out there. We're getting close to the end of the show, Miss. We're almost there.
You always do that to me.
Cut you off? We only have 30 minutes.
But I want to say, okay, so Walmart does. I will give you your piece. Walmart does. If you are aware, Walmart will increase your property if you are living in a small town or thinking about buying a property in an area by 3%. So the average home, let's call it $250,000. The moment you buy a home and they get a Walmart, your house has already increased $7,500. That's just the minimum average. Minimum. That's bare minimum.
Dang it, Marty. We're going to be buying a house at Walmart.
I love my Walmart.
Oh, boy.
And I don't condone Walmart.
We're just talking about companies coming in.
We're talking about companies coming in and how different companies will increase property values. And unfortunately, and I say the word unfortunately because I don't condone Starbucks. Sorry, Starbucks. Love you, but I don't drink coffee, so it's really not. I do like their bacon goudas. They're actually pretty bomb.
If you buy a house, and then the article did say any coffee shop, so
it is. So
I think they did kind of focus in on Starbucks because that's pretty much known. But
if you want land and you want a nice property,
buy next to Starbucks.
No, buy a place where you're watching. So if you watch, let's say you're here.
Gosh.
Go to a map real quick. Just do me a favor.
Where am I going?
Go to Payson.
Payson?
I don't know. Go to, Payson.
Where am I going to Payson?
I don't know.
We have a 30-minute show,
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, here's Payson.
Okay.
Make it quick.
It's expensive. But if you go up here, they have a Walmart this way. They have Dollar General. They're slowly moving up. So small towns that are very popular, like Payson, people we know Payson, we know Prescott, we know Winslow, Arizona, standing on the corner. Just kidding. They know Tucson, Tucson, but do they know all the little towns that surround that? So if you are looking, you're we can't afford a house here, or they love places in Sun City. There's always look at the space around where you're in love with, because I can guarantee you will be more in love with the space around it if you can buy the land way less than you can buy a house in that area. And then you just sit on it for a hot minute. You have land. You sell land.
Are we done with Payson now?
No, I'm just saying land in general.
We're going to finish the show. We're already at the end. Oh. So what I did want to show you guys a little bit too is the...
All right, I'll sit back.
Why? Wait, I want your commentary. So the top 10 metros that saw the most increase over the year, Phoenix was on top at 30%. And I think largely because we do have all these companies coming in, these companies that are building and see a very low tax bracket or tax incentives for moving here. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if Tesla moved one of their main operations here.
Don't say that.
I mean, they're all in Texas right now, but I mean,
the opportunity cost for the environment that we live in. We live in a very steady environment. Like, think about our weather. Our weather is very steady.
Yeah, it's warm, hot, hotter, and hottest, and that's it.
I mean, we really don't like.
Once in a while, there's rain.
If you think about it, like, our environment is very regulatory, and so are our taxes. Our taxes are very streamlined.
So the last point, or one of the last points.
You asked me to chime in. I chimed in.
I know I did. I just want to get into our points. Okay. So one of the last points here that I want to bring up, we did talk about this a little bit, I guess off the show, is that the second home market is kind of at the end. There are indications, reports show that the second home market, and this is more up north a little bit, you know, the people that went out there for COVID, they're like, hey, I can work from home. I might as well use a second home out in the middle of nowhere because it's cheaper. You know, I don't have to pay. I can buy a home in and I'll show you Prescott in a second. I buy a home in Prescott at a cheaper rate and still work from home and not have to deal with the traffic, not have to deal with anything. But now that we're coming back into the city life, that we're opening up, businesses are wanting their employees to come back because I think there is some drift from employment. You know, people like the turnover is connected to working from home. Like if you're not connected, if you're not connected to your employer or the people around you, you're really not loyal to your company. And so I think they're seeing some turnover related to the pandemic and what the outcome of that was. The nicest part is working from home, but also too, you don't have that kind of sense of solidarity with work.
I don't love working from home. I'll be honest with you. I don't love it at all. I don't.
So with that, what they're predicting is the second home market is going to be somewhat correcting, and you'll be able to see more. So the market prediction given from CoreLogic is that you're going to see a 50 to 75% high probability of a decline market in Prescott, being the number 2 city, Lake Havasu being number 1.
I have a lot of family in Lake Havasu. Believe it or not, I actually do. In Prescott, I have a few family members because we're from small towns. Yeah. I would agree with this for a brief moment.
This is what they're predicting for the up and coming year.
But I'm curious, like with the prediction. So I think we should just all go buy some dirt.
We're right back to the point there. You know, so
I've been saying this how long have I been saying this?
I've been saying it since the beginning. I know.
Like literally for over a year. I'm like, just go buy Funko dirt. Like buy it. It's not like just do it.
And as far as market opportunity, with interest rates coming up, I would show you stats, but it's pretty stagnant from.
Where are they at today?
The rates?
Oh, still about 5.
They're above 5. I'll pull it up.
Shh! Don't talk dirty to me. Just kidding.
Hello. No, so I'll pull up rates real quick since we're talking about it. Oh my God, I don't even know how accurate this is. I mean, I didn't even plan this for today. But let's see. Let's just say 400,000 minimum down payment, which is usually 5. Arizona.
It's 680.
With a
Arizona is literally actually below that.
That 6.5 is a little hard to believe.
You know what?
But this is.
I freaking believe it. Should we call a friend? Like, I mean, seriously, no, it's
phone
real.
A friend?
It's real. Like, this is legit shit.
I mean, let me see.
Go down because actually the average is go. But it doesn't matter. So I'm like very decent with my credit, and I just bought my son a car, and my credit score was a 710. So go down.
Oh, you want to do 7? Want to do your scenario?
Yeah, it's a 710. But I bought a car, so go down. No, go down there. It's still a 5.7. Like, I got a better freaking interest rate in my car.
These are like. I think the last time I saw 5.7 before all this was about 7 or 8 years ago.
It's been a long time. So we need to make quick decisions. And if we are not capable of making quick decisions, we need to make decisions on what our trajectory of our future, what's happening next. If you're a renter, don't go to Starbucks. Just research where they are. Save your money.
I would say if you're a renter, you really need to start saving and for a down payment.
Be more cognizant. Pay attention to what's happening in the economy.
The reason I suggest saving more for a down payment is not only just for the down payment. You also have closing costs. and you may be able to buy down some of your points.
But it's still expensive. It's still expensive.
But it's still expensive, yes. And so the people that were planning last year to wait for this year, it's not. I don't foresee that really manifesting. You'll probably have to rent for another year if you don't have a large sum of discretionary money or just a large reserve for that down payment. Victor says it's legit. DPAs are gone away.
Yeah, they're done.
For
well,
time
they're
being.
not gone. They're just
Except for channel.
gone.
Yeah, DPAs. So, I mean, the best opportunity for renters right now, again, is to save as much as they can to buy, hopefully, down some points.
And if anybody wants, like, the chart that I have on how to save your money, because you know how I, like, did the whole entire, like, I literally did an entire Excel spreadsheet on how to save money, where my money was going, and it wasn't going towards Starbucks or Walmart. It was, and it was couponing. I mean, Walmart, it was going a little bit towards there, but definitely not Starbucks.
Do you still have that chart?
Yeah, oh yeah. I know. I update it all the time.
So if you want to DM us, if you want to message us here,
I update it all the time.
We will email you, or I don't know,
and now
mail you the chart.
I have a diesel vehicle, and diesel has gone up huge. And when I was in California, I use this app called Get Upside, and it gives me a discount on gas. So I just got a $10 coupon or $10 cash back for using Get Upside because gas in California is astronomical.
We're still, me and Ashley are developing a toilet app. We'll tell you about it later.
Oh, if you have to go potty, we are the shit.
Oh, boy, she went there. Anyway, we're at the end of the show. We're way over, by the way, Miss. Anything else, any poignant things that we want to talk about before we head out?
I don't. Honestly, at the end of the day, like everything we talk about, what does it always come down to?
What's the
being cognizant, paying attention, being aware, knowing what you want. If you want it, you'll get it. If you have a passion, a purpose, a plan, you'll get what you want. And
that's a lot of P's. So if you watched last week's show, we talked about the P's. All of them.
The P.
The 3 lists of P's that we were intending to label.
It was actually 5. But.
Oh, let me do that again. There we go. So join us every Monday here at Monday Market 15 and enjoy a 40-minute show, not the 15 that we intend to do. But you get us. You get fun. You get a whole lot of fun when you tune in to what we're doing.
Heck yeah, you do. If you want to know about where to buy your
sell,
land
or trade,
and sell,
do whatever you got to do.
I mean, you don't always need to trade your goat, but I can teach you how to do it a bit.
Oh boy. Anyway, we'll see you guys next week. Monday Market 15, around 2:00. Adios.
See you.